stock that is in focus, and that is Justdial. We are joined by the management of Justdial on the show to talk more on the earnings. It is Abhishek Bansal, who is the CFO of the company. Very good morning to you, Abhishek. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. And let's talk about your numbers. The numbers actually beat analyst estimates for second quarter and almost touch 15% margin mark as well in the quarter gone by. Will we see a margin uptake in H2 FY24 as well, as more sales hiring is being done by the company, especially for the B2B segment?
Definitely, margins are expected to continue improving sequentially in coming quarters. Our headcount largely has been flattish over last 3 quarters. The collections growth that we witnessed this quarter, about 28% year on year, and what we witnessed last year should translate into better revenues. And we have also recently taken certain cost control measures. Both these initiatives together should help us take our margins upwards closer to pre-COVID levels as we move towards the future quarters.
Hi Abhishek, but if we see your top line, that has seen a modest growth of 6% on a sequential basis, and overall there seems a short-term pressure on the business sentiment due to inflation and elevated interest rate. Has this pressure bottomed out, and what kind of a demand outlook is being seen for your customers, and how are the collections looking like?
So for previous couple of years, our business was impacted due to COVID. But the good part is at this point of time, we are seeing good recovery because post-COVID, most SMEs have a realization that they need to be present on a digital advertising platform such as ours. So to that extent, our particular last year collections were up about 44% year on year, which I would call it as a recovery year. And this year also, it has started on a good note with 28% growth in first quarter collections. So far, things are turning out to be reasonably healthy. And with traffic holding up pretty well, we had 171 million unique users, up about 16% year on year. So that should help aid monetization and consequently profitability in coming quarters.
Right. Abhishek, one of the main key triggers for the growth of the company is the active paid campaigns, but the growth has actually been in early single digits in the quarter gone by on a sequential basis, that is. Have the average realization crossed the pre-COVID levels of about 18,000 rupees per customer? What sort of a guidance do you have for FY24 on that particular front?
So paid campaigns did have 13.5% year-on-year growth in 1Q, and realizations were up about 17 to 18% on a year-on-year basis. And yes, they have crossed the 18,000 mark on an annual basis. So as we have maintained in the past, revenue growth is a function of both paid campaigns addition and realizations. And we strive to have optimal balance between the two. We have taken certain price hikes over the last few quarters. And so I think this particular year will see decent growth in both metrics, both paid campaigns as well as our ticket size.
All right, Abhishek, we leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us on the show to talk about Justdial numbers and the way forward for your company going ahead. And that was the management of Justdial. But with that, we're totally out of time on this edition of Buy Now Sell Now. It's a goodbye from Srishti, myself, and the team that put the show together. So stay tuned. Markets at noon coming up next.